Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Rav.
How's it? How are you, Lee?
How are you
Are you
keeping, Rav?
well? Is everyone well?
Mirz Hashem, we're all well.
Baruch Hashem. What did mean Mirz Hashem? Baruch Hashem, everything is well.
Yeah.
Good. Family well?
Yes, thank you, Rav. Thank you.
A bit chill, huh?
How are you keeping? You all right?
Yeah, we trying our best with mask and sanitizing and with work. So we're trying, what can we do? Part of work, we have to be careful and we have to daven to Hashem to look after us, to protect us from that plague. It's not so,
I know.
It's not a shoot, but
We have to be very, very careful.
Very, very careful. How are you people doing? How's everyone? Is everyone okay, Louis in Israel?
Yeah. Thank God. Good news all the time.
Baruch Hashem, that's the most important. Nothing better than that. Baruch Hashem, I'm happy to hear that. Good.
Good things coming out of Israel all the time, which is wonderful.
That's Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. We are very, very lucky to hear good news. And Be'ezrat Hashem, it will continue to have good news. Please God.
Please God.
Please God. I see that there's people joining us. There's few more coming. Going to take some time. I see that some people trying. Oh, Gabriel with us, I see. Hello, Gabriel. Good evening, Gabriel. I hope that you're well. So nice to see you with us. We will just wait another few minutes for people to link. I don't know, what's the time now? 8 and 3 minutes. Okay, I see more people. Yeah, there's more people joining him. Let me admit them. Yeah, there's more people get admitted. There's Good. There's more people. Good. So who's with us? Adam. Good evening, Adam.
Good evening.
With us? Adrian with us. Adrian, how are you? How is everyone? Is everyone well?
Hashem.
So nice to see you with us. Good. We're going to start the show in a few minutes. Hello, Mr. Adam. How are you? Long time. We're missing you.
Yeah, thank God I'm good. How are you?
I was thinking that you disappear.
No, just disappeared.
Good. Who else with us? See Mark joining us. Hello, Mark. Mark join us. Who else with us? John. Hello, John. Jones.
Hello, Rob.
How are you, Mark?
Hello, Rob. How are you doing?
Baruch Hashem. We're going to start 2 more minutes, but there's more people joining the show. We just give another few seconds. I know that we're running a few minutes behind, but we're going to start the show immediately. Okay, so Be'ezrat Hashem, na'aseh v'natzliach, ve'Hashem alenu berachamav yarviach. I'm going to mute everyone. Louis, remember to unmute yourself, okay? Louis? Okay,
Rob.
And then you unmute yourself, okay? Okay, everyone, Be'ezrat Hashem, na'aseh v'natzliach, ve'Hashem alenu berachamav yarviach. השיעור יהיה לעילוי נשמת אסתר קדן בת קציה, מרדכי בן רחמה, הרב אברהם חיים בן אליעזר יעקב, תמר בת זהבה, רחל בת מלכה סולטנה, יעקב סלומון בן פרחה, דבורה רות בת בילה, וחיים אליהו בן ישעיהו. Please God, it should be עליית נשמה to those people. Sorry?
Esther בת מוישה זו
אסתר בת מוישה. Yeah, please God, yeah. ולרפואת in health of ליאורה בת מרים, מנשה נג'י בן פרחה, אורנה בלומה בת מרים, הרב אברהם בן מרינה, הרב שלמה יהודה בן דליה, הרב משה בן דבורה, מרדכי דוד בן לאה, משה בן יהודית, יוסף בן אסתר, חנה שרה בת דבורה בת אסתר, שלמה פנחס בן שיינה פישה, וחונה טוביה בן חיים, שאול זליג הכהן. Please God, it should be to the healing of those people, and all call Okay, so this coming Shabbos, we're going to read two parshiot. We're going to read the last two parshiot of the book of Sefer Bamidbar. And a matter of fact, with that, we're going to end up the fourth book of Moses. That means we're going to finish Sefer Bamidbar. We're going to start Sefer Devarim, the book of Devarim. And a matter of fact, if you look at it, the year is fly off. The year is finished. Sefer Devarim is the end of the year. We soon in Rosh Hashanah. But as we usually do, we do a summary for the Parashat HaShavua. This week, I'm going to do a summary for the two parshiot. I'm going to try to compose it to make it very short. So we're not going to take too much of the show. Okay, at the beginning of Parashat Mattot, Moshe Rabbeinu gathered the entire head of the tribe of Eretz Israel and bring them the law of vows and oaths. And not only that, Moshe Rabbeinu explained that if a father here his young daughter, or the husband here his wife, taking on himself an oath or a vow, he can annihilate it by immediately saying that it's not exist. The second thing that happened in Parashat Mattot is the war with the nation of Midian. Moshe Rabbeinu gathered 12,000 soldiers. That means from every tribe he take 1,000 soldiers, 1,000 men, and those soldiers going to war against the nation of Midian. Then the Torah tells us that those soldiers and people that the 12,000 gone to a war against Midian, killed the entire nation of Midian. Not only that, they killed the kings of Midian, and amongst them was Bil'am HaRasha. But the Torah tells us that the soldier, when I say Bnei Israel, the soldiers killed, funny enough, only the male. But the women and the youngsters, they didn't kill. And a matter of fact, they took him in captivity and they brought him to the Mahane Israel, the camp of Israel. But the nation, the cities and land of Midian, they burned it completely down. And when they brought the woman and the child, the woman and the youngsters to the camp of Israel, Moshe Rabbeinu was cross with them. How can they take the woman, okay, keep them alive, and the child? Moshe actually was cross with them and commanded them to kill the woman. We'll speak about it, why the soldier done it. We'll explain why the soldiers didn't kill the woman also. Why did they have to keep them alive? We'll speak Be'ezrat Hashem about it in a show. Then the Torah tells us about all the vessel, that means all the spoil that Bnei Israel took from Midian, that certain part of those spoil was cutleries. And those cutleries that they took, that some of them have to do, they have to make it hachshara, that means by boiling water, that's called haga'ala. And some of them have to be gone through the fire, to be burned in fire. And some of them have to be taken to the mikvah, to be dunked in a mikvah. The spoil that the soldier brought, being divided half and a half to the Jewish nation and a half to them. That means all the spoil that the 12,000 soldiers brought to the camp of Israel, they have to take it back. They have to share half. That means half to them and all the other half to the rest of the nation. Towards the end of Parashat Mattot, the Torah tells us that the tribe of Gad and the tribe of Reuven actually getting an extra piece of heritage behind the Jordan Valley. In Parashat Mattot, there is one positive command and one negative command. Now, summary on Parashat Masei. In the beginning of the Parsha, the Torah tells us all the 42 journeys that Bnei Israel have to go through the 40 years while they was in Bamidbar. That means in a desert. Then Moshe Rabbeinu tell Bnei Israel that when they're entering the land of Eretz Israel, it's not enough just to kick out the Gentile that lived in land of Eretz Israel. They're obligated to destroy and to burn all the idols that there is in Eretz Israel. The third thing that the Torah speak in Parashat Masei, it's the idea that the tribe of Levy not entitled to get a share or portion in the land of Eretz Israel, but they're obligated to get 48 cities from the tribes that each one will give them. We'll speak about it, why also not. But from those 48, 46 of them, it's going to be a refuge city, that 3 of them inside the land of Eretz Israel, and 3 of them is outside the land of Eretz Israel. Then the Torah tells us about the Arei Miklat, that means the city of refuge, that where a person by mistake kills someone, must fled to those cities until the Kohen Gadol will die. Towards the end of the parsha of Parashat Masei, the Torah tells us the story of Bnot Zlofhad, that, a matter of fact, they're entitled for a heritage, and they will get a heritage in the land of Israel. And come the tribe of Menashe, because the Bnot Zlofhad was from the tribe of Menashe, and they saying that if the Bnot Zlofhad, the daughter of Zlofhad, going to get a heritage, they're asking that they should marry, the daughters should marry only from the tribe of Menashe, that they're not going to lose from the heritage in the land of Eretz Israel. In Parashat Masei, there is 2 positive commands and 4 negative commands. So, Be'ezrat Hashem na'aseh v'natzliach, ve'Hashem alenu berachamav yarviach. We're going to start the show now. Parashat Mattot, we're going to start first in Parashat Mattot. Louis, don't forget to unmute yourself. וידבר משה אל ראשי המטות לבני ישראל לאמור. זה הדבר אשר ציווה אדוני.
Moses spoke to the heads of the tribes of the children of Israel, saying, this is thy thing that Hashem has commanded.
Okay. Rashi HaKadosh, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzhaki. Rabbi Shlomo Yitzhaki, born in the city of Troyes in the north of France, 981 years ago. And in his commentary on the Torah, listen what Rashi say. Rashi explained that the main reason that Moshe Rabbeinu speaking to the head of the tribe, Rashi HaMatot, it means the head of the tribe, it's to show them respect and to teach them the law of vows and oaths. That means that first Moshe Rabbeinu teaching the head of the tribe, and only after that he teach the rest of the Israel. That means Moshe Rabbeinu first taught the head of the tribe all the laws of vow and oaths. And we'll see now why is it so important. But I saw a beautiful commentary that brought by the Arav Ben Zion Mutzafi. Arav Ben Zion Mutzafi Shalita, he born in Jerusalem, he born 76 years ago. And in his book, Doresh Tzion, he bring a beautiful commentary that the Mefarshim bring. He said, do you know why the Torah spoke first to the head of the tribes? And that will help us to understand what Rashi said. Why Dafka to the head of the tribe? Why not to everyone together? Why did Moshe Rabbeinu have to speak specifically to the head of the tribe first? Sorry. So say Arav Ben Zion Mutzafi, and he bring it in the name of the Mefarshim. And he said like this. He said, you know what was the reason that Moshe Rabbeinu spoke first to the head of the tribe? He said, because usually when there is a leader, when there is Talmid Chacham, a rabbi, when people have importance, that they hold a position in the Jewish religion, when usually they speak, they have to be very careful what they say. Why? Why do they have to be careful? He said like this. Say, the Mefarshim explained that usually if the leader, when he talk, he promise, like everyone else. People sometimes don't realize, and they promise things that they will do. that's the leaders, that's the rabbi of the community, or people that love to promise. He said, you have to be very careful. He said, and that's what Moshe Rabbeinu warned the head of the tribes. He said to him, be careful when you promise something, because a promise is a vow, a promise is an oath. You promise someone, or you promise to do something for someone, it's like taking a vow or taking an oath on yourself. And when you don't do that, if you didn't say bli neder, it's a vow, it's an oath. He said that from here, Moshe Rabbeinu spoke first to the leader, because usually the leader loves to promise. People that the leaders love to promise, they'll do that, they'll do that. Half of that they doesn't do. So say the Mefarshim, Moshe Rabbeinu spoke first to the leaders. Why? Because to warn the leaders that they have to keep the vow, they keep the oath. And if they're not going to keep it, beside the punishment that there is behind it, the rest of Israel are going to learn from them. That you can promise, you can take a vow, you can take an oath, and you not have to do it. Why? Because they say, listen, this is a leader. The leader doesn't keep to his words, or the rabbi doesn't keep to his words, and the Talmidei Chachamim has v'shalom. What's going to happen? So here say the Mefarshim, you know why Moshe Rabbeinu spoke first to the head of the tribe? To warn them first, because you represent the Jewish people. The eyes of the Jewish people is always looking at you. You have to be careful. What are you saying? What are you promising? Because every word that you promise is like a vow. Every word that you say to people, and you didn't say bli neder, it's like an oath. And now we can understand what Rashi come and say, that Moshe Rabbeinu spoke first to who? To the head of the tribes. In verse 2, it says something very interesting. In verse 2, it says like this, the Torah tells us, Ish ki yidor neder la'Adonai, או יישבע שבועה, לאסור איסר על נפשו, לא יחל דברו ככל היוצא מפיו יעשה. לואי בכבוד.
This is the thing that Hashem has commanded. If a man will take a vow to Hashem or swear on an oath to establish a prohibition upon himself, he shall not desecrate his word. According to whatever comes from his mouth shall he do.
Okay, but we have to focus now. Ish ki yidor neder laHashem. Here the Torah tell us, and speaking about the laws, okay, and vow and oaths, and we have to understand something very important. We have to understand what's the connection, Rabotai, between vow and oath to the previous parasha. Where's the connection between Parashat Pinchas, that Parashat Pinchas ending, to our parasha, to the beginning of our parasha? So the Gaon Hida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azulai, born in Jerusalem 297 years ago. And he explained, he explained a beautiful idea regarding the connection between Parashat Pinchas, the end of Parashat Pinchas, to the beginning of Parashat Mattot. And he said like this, he said, if you look carefully in Parashat Pinchas, how's Parashat Pinchas ending? He said that Parashat Pinchas ending by talking about the sacrifice that the Jewish people bring during the festivals. That means the Shlosha Regalim, the three festivals that we have in Hol HaMoed, you know, Bnei Israel come up, going up to Bet HaMikdash when it was exist. And they bring, everyone bring his own crops, everyone bring his own sacrifice, okay? And usually, in that time, Bnei Israel, the Jewish people, love to take on themselves different vows, different oaths. That means they love to donate, okay? And he said, you know what's the connection? Why the Torah straight after the Torah speak about the festival, that there when they bring the all the korbanot and all the, when they bring all the korbanot and people take donate things and take vow on himself or take oath on himself, they must not desecrate it. Why? He said that the main reason is the Torah comes speak immediately about vows. That the Jewish people have to understand that you have to be careful in a festival. Why? Because usually people during the festivals love to give a donation. That was in time of Bet HaMikdash, when Shul was open, usually people give donation. To teach us how important is it that you're obligated to immediately to pay it. And the Musar Rabbi says something extraordinary, that the person obligated to pay whatever he donated before Rosh Hashanah. Before Rosh Hashanah comes. Where do you learn that? Chazal say you learned it from the Gemara in Masechet Brachot. In Masechet Rosh Hashanah. Masechet Rosh Hashanah in Daf Daled Amud Aleph. Listen what Chazal say. Ehad hanoder ve'ehad hamagdish. That means a person that take a vow, a person that donate, okay? ואחד המעריך כיוון שעברו עליו 3 רגלים. That those people that donate, those people took on himself to donate, or those people that took a vow on themselves or oath on themselves, if 3 festivals pass on him, over בל תאחר. That means, לא עלינו, the Gemara say, that if a person didn't pay his debts, or the donation that he asked, or the oaths that he given, and etc., he passed a negative command that you should not delay to pay what you obligated to pay, include donation. Okay, now we can understand, say the Musar Rabbi, now you can understand why the Torah come and straight after Parashat, the Pinchas, that in the end of the Parasha speak about the festival. Why she speak about the festival? To tell us something very important, to tell us that how important is it that when people go during festival, during the Chol HaMoed, and donating, how dangerous is it if they doesn't pay? So what did the Torah done? Immediately after she speak about the festival, she come and talk about the law of vow and oath. And that's the main reason that it say in the Pasuk that you should not desecrate what you took out of your mouth. In verse 3, the Torah tell us something extraordinary. Listen what the Torah tell us. Where's verse 3? Yeah, Ish kido neder, okay, we say that, lo yachel devaro, that he should not desecrate what he said. If you look at Rashi, what does it mean not to desecrate? That's the question. So Rashi HaKadosh explained, you know what it means not to desecrate your words? That you must not do your words profane. That means that whatever you say, if you took on yourself to give a donation, you took a vow on yourself, you took an oath on yourself, they must be holy, mustn't be profane. I saw a beautiful commentary of Rabbi Moshe ben Hamo. Rabbi Moshe ben Hamo, born around 400 years ago in Morocco, and he was the chief rabbi of the city of Tzforno. Tzforno is a city in Morocco, and he says something very interesting. He says, you know why a person should not desecrate his word, why he mustn't make the promise, the oath, or the word that he's saying mustn't be profane. Listen what he said. He said, when a person do an act of mitzvah by donating something, that means he said, I will donate X amount to the shul, I will donate X amount to this Bet Midrash, whatever is it. It's not important what is it exactly. He said, every mitzvah that the person do, he create an angel. You remember we explained. And say that this angel is a good angel. Until he doesn't pay what he promised to pay, that angel doesn't have any energy, doesn't have any power to recommend in favor of that person. That means you created the angel, what is the job of the angel? If it's a good angel, is to go up to heaven and to recommend in favor of you in the front of the Almighty. Has v'shalom, when a person do avera, that angel that you created, he go and criticize against you in heaven. Say Rabbi Moshe ben Hamo like this, listen to that. When a person took a vow or an oath on himself, he created an angel. That angel doesn't have any power, doesn't have any energy to move. Why? When do you actually give him the energy? In the moment that you paid what you promised, or you kept your word, that means that your word be not become desecrated, not become profane, that's when that angel can go up to heaven and recommend in favor of you. That means speak well about you. So now we can understand what Rashi said. Rabbi Moshe, matter of fact, explain what Rashi say, that you should not desecrate your word. You know what it means not to desecrate your word? That you should word, that the promise that you promise should not be profane. By how? When you fulfill your oath, when you fulfill your vow, or the donation that you took on yourself to give, you fulfill it, you're given it, that angel that you created, now he can recommend in favor of you in upon heaven. How's it become? When you make it holy. That means when you keep to your words, that angel become full of energy and work for you. Now we can understand what it means. Sorry, what does it mean, okay, to be lo yachel devaro, that not to desecrate your words. Let's move to verse 8, and in verse 8, the Torah already telling us regarding something very interesting that happened. It happened with Billy. Okay, sorry, in chapter 31, I'm skipping, 31 verse 8, the Torah tells us something very interesting. Here speaking about the war of Midian, but here it's speaking about Bilam HaRasha. And look what the Torah tells us. Ve'et malchei Midian hargu al halalehem et Avai, ואת רקם, ואת צור, ואת חור, ואת רבע. אוקיי? חמשת מלכי מדיין, ואת בלעם בן פאור, הרגו בחרב.
And a husband heard, and on that day of his hearing, he was silent about her. And then her vows...
Louis, chapter 31,
31, verse 8. Sorry. Here we are. Yeah. They killed the kings of Midian along with the slain ones. Ivai, Rekem, Zur, Her, and Reba, and the 5 kings of Midian, and Balaam, son of Bor, they slew with the sword.
Okay. Here the Torah tells us that the children, the soldier of Israel, when I said the Bnei Israel, killed the 5 kings of Midian, and suddenly also someone else came. Who came? Our friend Billy. What is Billy doing here? We have to understand what is Billy doing here. And the Mefarshim ask this question, what is Billy doing here? Because we know that in Parashat Balak, if you look at Parashat Balak, chapter 24, verse 25, it says like this, Vayakom Balak, and Balak stood up. Vayelech vayashev lemkomo. Balak stood up and he gone back to his place where he was. I don't understand. What are you doing here? Why are you coming to Moab? You already gone to your place. What are you coming back? We don't understand. What is he doing here? That's the Mefarshim want to understand. What is Billy doing now there? So Rashi HaKadosh explains something extraordinary. Listen to that, and we're going to develop it. Rashi HaKadosh explained that when Bilam saw that when he tried to curse the new nation, And he couldn't. HaKadosh Baruch Hu changed the word and it turned to blessing. What happened? Bilam, in the end, saw that he can't curse the Jewish people. He gave an advice to Balak, the king of Moab. And he said to him, listen to me. The God of this nation hates immorality. I suggest to you, release your woman, okay, and let them entice the Jewish man, okay, and they'll sin with immorality and you'll see the result. And we know that that's what happened, that the Moabites released their women and we know the 5 kings released. And we know that 24,000 lo alenu from the Jewish nation die on that because of that, until Pinchas stopped the plague. Said the Mefarshim something extraordinary. Bilam, when he saw that the advice that he came with the invoice. He wanted to get paid. He brought his invoice. Bilam came to collect his money. Listen to that. When I say invoice, it was my extra words. Bilam came to collect his payment for his advice. That means that Bilam Rasha, this wicked Billy, not enough that he given the advice, now he wants money. And that's what Hazal say, that the soul of Bilam, he loved better. That means he loved money. He loved too much money. Everyone loved money. Everyone according to a different level, you know. But these certain people for money, that they'll sell their soul to the devil. Bilam, that was such a corrupt person. All he cared about money. So when he came to collect the money, who saw him? Pinchas, because Pinchas gone with the 12,000 soldiers to go to fight with Midian, with the kings. Who did he see? Billy coming. When he saw Billy saw him immediately because Billy was a wizard. And he knew all of the evil forces and he used them. And he said certain word in the negative forces and he started flying in the air. Pinchas saw that with the holy name, immediately fly after him, like Harry Potter, story like Harry Potter. Where did Harry Potter took all of his idea? From this, from the Zohar. It's all written in the Zohar. What happened? Pinchas saw that Bilam flying in the air and starting to disappear. Immediately he said the holy name and he flew after him. It was a chase. Imagine, a race of 2 human beings in the air. But Pinchas took with him the head plate of the Kohen Gadol, the tzitz, okay? And he managed to catch with him. And with that holy thing, he put it on him. He basically captured him and brought him down to earth. And when they reached to earth, Pinchas took the sword. Which sword? The sword that Bilam had, and he killed him. He chopped his head and he killed him. That's basically what Hazal tell us. The Zohar and Rashi HaKadosh, that's what's happened. That's why he came there. But that's not the end. Here come the cherry on the top. Ari HaKadosh, that was Rabbi Tzchak Luria Ashkenazi. He born in Jerusalem 487 years ago. And he asked a very valid question. Listen to that question. We know that the person that knows the holy name, he doesn't have to kill. He just said the holy name and he can kill. The same we saw with Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, when he saw the Egyptian hitting the Jewish person, when he came outside in the age of 18 from the house of Pharaoh, and he saw the Egyptian hitting the Jewish person, he looked to the left, he looked to the right. We explained what it means looking to the left, looking to the right. On Pshat HaDvarim that no one see him. But he looked, is anything good going to come from that Egyptian person? When he saw that all of his descendants going to be wicked, he said the Shema Meforash, the holy name, and he killed them. Ask Ari HaKadosh, Pinchas, how did he flew in the air? With the holy name. He know the holy name. Kill him. Why Pinchas didn't kill Bil'am HaRasha. Why does he have to chase him? Why it have to be one of the story of Harry Potter, that Harry Potter have to make a story from it, a movie? That's the question of Ari HaKadosh. Listen how Ari HaKadosh answer. Listen how Gdolei Israel look into the depths of everything. Say Ari HaKadosh, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi, like this. He said, we know that Bil'am was such a wicked human being that first of all, he was a sorceress. He was a witchcrafter. Okay? He was a wizard. Not only that, Bil'am was the most corrupt person that there is in the world. And say Ari HaKadosh, I'm going to quote his word, Velev shahor lo. What does it mean, lev shahor? That his heart is black. The heart of Bil'am is black. What does it mean? Everything, he hate everyone. What does he love? He love only money. Not only that, we explained in previous shorim, who was the wife of Bil'am? The donkey, the female donkey. You remember? Lama ikitani, the donkey said to him, why do you hit me? Sherachafta alay miyamecha. That means that you used to ride on me from the beginning. That means Bil'am married a donkey, said the Ari HaKadosh, the Kabbalistic Rebash, and many of the Mefarshim explain that he have a physical relationship with his own donkey. Okay. Say Ari HaKadosh, you know why Pinchas didn't kill Bil'am HaRasha with the holy name? He said that, say Ari HaKadosh, if Pinchas would kill Bil'am HaRasha with the holy name, it's going to be a very honorable death for Bil'am. Therefore, Pinchas decided, I cannot give that creature, I call him a creature, such an honorable death. What has he done? He brought him down to earth with his own knife. And Hazal explained that on the sword of Bil'am was engraved snakes, and it have two heads. And he chopped his head and he killed them. Hazal say that the Zohar HaKadosh, when I say Hazal, now I'm speaking about the Zohar HaKadosh, say that they wanted to see what's happening with Bil'am, with the body of Bil'am. What is the body of Bil'am? We know that Lo Alenu, after 120, those that not so righteous, the worm eat the flesh of a human being. He said that what's happened in the grave of Bil'am, that his body turned to snake. And whoever deal with witchcrafting, his flesh turned to snake. It was, I'll tell you a story. I hope that you're going to sleep at night. I'm frightened to say it, but this is a story that I spoke to a guy in Eretz Israel. He was working for Hevra Kadisha, and one day I spoke to him. He's from Bet Shemesh, and he worked for the Hevra Kadisha in Eretz Israel, and he do Tahara and everything. And he said to me that one of the men that one day that died, they have to do Tahara. And that man that they have to do, you know, he was dealing with witchcrafting. Wasn't such a great man. I'm saying it really, I'm trying not to scare you. And he says that when they done the Tahara, after the Tahara, they saw that from his body, immediately the worm starting to eat. You know, it didn't have a long time, but they saw that the body is not in a great condition. And they bury it. And for some reason, they needed to move it. I don't know what exactly happened. And they saw snake coming from the grave. So we learned that those that has v'shalom, that deal with witchcrafting, with evil forces, Lo alenu, how much they're suffering after their death. I don't mean to scare anyone. So say Ari HaKadosh, from here you learn that the main reason that Pinchas didn't kill Bil'am HaRasha with the holy name, because it was too honorable death for Pinchas HaRasha. Let's move to verse 9. And now we speak about the woman that the soldier took in captivity, in capture, and why Moshe was crossed. Look what it said. וישבו בני ישראל את נשי מדיין, ואת טפם, ואת כל בהמתם, ואת כל מקניהם, ואת כל חילם בזזו.
The children of Israel took captive the women of Midian and their young children and all their cattle and flock and all their wealth that took as spoils.
Okay. So the Torah tells us that the soldiers, after they kill all the male, okay, they brought the woman and the children to the tent of Israel. Okay, we explained that Moshe Rabbeinu was cross with them. How come that you bringing those women that cause all the problem to the Jewish people? That means those women entice the Jewish men to commit immorality. Why didn't kill them? That's the question of many of the Mefarshim. Why did they done it? So I saw a question, I saw a beautiful answer that say Rabbi Avraham Azulai. Rabbi Avraham Azulai was the grand-grandfather of the Gaon Hida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef Azulai. He born in a city of Fez in Morocco. He born around 451 years ago. And he says something very interesting. It says, if you look at the pasuk, it says, "Vayishvu bnei Israel." He said, wherever you look somewhere else, it doesn't mention bnei Israel. How come that when it came that the Jewish people captured the woman of Midian, it said bnei Israel. Bnei Israel is in plural. When it said that Ve'et kol arem, if you look at verse 10 and verse 11 and etc., it said that they burned the cities, okay, they destroyed all the castle and they took all the spoil, okay? It's all in plural. But it doesn't mention Bnei Israel. But it says here Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, that means the soldiers. Say Rabbi Avraham Azulai, what's happening here? Why did you say Bnei Israel? So we have two questions, Rabotai. Question number one, why is it mentioned suddenly the name of Bnei Israel doing it in plural? Question number two, why did Moshe was cross that the Jewish people brought the Midianite? We'll see now why they brought them, because Moshe, in his humble opinion, because Moshe was the humble man, say you should kill them. They cause all the tzoros to the Jewish people. Be'ezrat Hashem will try to answer question by question. First question, let's answer it, why it said Bnei Israel. I saw a beautiful commentary of Rabbi Avraham Azulai. Rabbi Avraham Azulai said like this. He says something extraordinary. When the 12,000 soldiers gone to war, they killed the entire nation of Midian. We know that they killed also 5 kings. Not only that not one soldier from the Jewish people, from Bnei Israel, died. Because usually when people go to a war, there's winning nation, there's a losing nation. But in every nation, even if they win the war, they have casualties. This war that Bnei Israel gone, not one casualty. 12,000 people, it's nothing. Going to kill the entire nation, nothing. What is it? Not only that was one miracle by himself. Not one Jewish soldier died. That's beyond understanding. What's happening here? Say Rabbi Avraham Azulai like this. Say that when the Jewish people killed, it doesn't mention when they burned, when they destroyed the city of Midian. It doesn't speak about the soldier. You just speak on them, mention then the idea, but it doesn't mention Bnei Israel. When is it mentioned Bnei Israel? He said, look carefully. Vayishvu Bnei Israel et Nashei Midian. When it's come to women, he said that the Jewish people, when they took the Midianite woman in captivity, or when they're going to take their gold and their jewelry, It's a Bnei Israel. Why? In plural. That means that not single soldier gone to a house or to a room with a woman. שלא יהיה יחידות. What it means יחידות? That חס ושלום not going to be, people have a chance to say, you see this soldier, he gone and he been with a woman, with a Gentile woman by himself. Why? That חס ושלום not to speak לשון הרע. Not only that, say Rabbi Avraham Azulai, that חס ושלום, because those soldiers were so careful that they didn't want חס ושלום to be enticed by the woman of Midian. So from here we learn, say Rabbi Avraham Azulai, how righteous and how tzaddikim was those soldiers. Who was the soldier of Bnei Israel? Righteous people. That they were so careful that not going to be yahidut. That even when they're going to take the jewelry and the gold and the spoil from the woman, they're going with another man. That means no single soldier going to a house by himself. No single soldier going to take jewelry and gold if there is a woman in a house by himself. Always there was couple. That's not going to be has v'shalom takala. Takala is a mistake for the soldier, that they're not going to happen something. So now we understand why it says Bnei Israel when it speaks about women. Second question that we ask, Moshe Rabbeinu was cross, and he have all the right to be cross. How can you bring a woman, kill them? They cause all the tourists, 24,000 men, 24,000 men of Bnei Israel die from what? Because immorality. Who caused immorality in a Jewish nation? The woman. Kill them. I saw a beautiful commentary that brought by Rabbi Mordechai Cohen. Rabbi Mordechai Cohen lived in the 16th century in Tzfat. He was a student of Maran Bet Yosef and also one of the students of Ari HaKadosh. And he wrote the book Siftei Kohen. And in his commentary on the Torah, he explained that Moshe Rabbeinu was very cross with the soldier that they brought a woman. But he didn't understand that the idea behind it, that they brought the woman, that the soldier brought the woman to the camp because they want to sanctify the name of the Almighty. Why? He said that the soldier, when they brought the woman, they planned to kill them in the front of all of the Jewish people. But they wanted to show the Jewish people how come that 12,000 soldiers going to a war and not one of them dying, and 12,000 soldiers coming back with no harm happened to them. Why? Because those soldiers was righteous and they look after themselves not to sin with immorality. So he said they wanted to publicize the miracle. They wanted to sanctify the name of the Almighty and to kill the woman and the children were in the front of all the Jewish people to show them what got them in that war. And that was the idea behind it. And said that Moshe Rabbeinu, if he had, Akon said, but that's what the Mefarshim say, I'm even frightened to say it. I'm really frightened to say it, that if Moshe Rabbeinu have a little bit of patience and give them a chance to explain themselves, he wouldn't be cross. And that's why now we can understand why the soldier brought the woman into the camp, to publicize the miracle and to sanctify the name of Hashem. Okay, let's move on, because the time is running. Let's move on to verse 21. Let's do verse 21, chapter 31, verse 21. And it's like this, ויאמר אלעזר הכהן אל אנשי הצבא הבאים למלחמה, זאת חוקת התורה אשר ציווה אדוני את משה.
Eleazar, the Kohen, said to the men of the legion who comes to the battle, this is a decree of the Torah, which Hashem commanded Moses.
Okay. If you look, what does it say here? ויאמר אלעזר הכהן, and אלעזר הכהן said, to who? To אנשי הצבא, the army men, that coming to a war, you coming to a war or you going to war? You're going to a war. Usually when people go, when there is a war, they're going to war. They're not coming to war. The Mefarshim ask, why does it say coming to the war? That question been asked again by Rabbi Mordechai Cohen in his book Siftei Cohen. He asked, why is the Torah tell us that Elazar spoke to the army men that coming to a war? Should say the army men that going to a war. He says something extraordinary. Listen to that. He said that Elazar actually telling and mentioning to those 12,000 soldiers that gone to a war, okay, that all the spoil that they brought with them, it's going to stay with them. So what does it mean, haba'im lamilhama, that coming to a war? Said that Elazar HaKohen didn't say it for nothing. He said that he mentioned it, that in the future, if will be any war, that he's saying to them that all the spoil that they took, they entitled for it, that spoil will encourage in the future the soldier that are going to the war. That's mean. What it means, haba'im la milhama, in the future, if will be a war, remember that whatever spoil that you take, you're going to keep it. And that's what was haba'im la milhama. That's mean that Elazar come to encourage who? The soldiers for the future. But the musar here, there's a musar here. Behind everything in the Torah, there's a musar. Say the Mefarshim, there is musar here. He said, if you have a child, for example, and the child brought a beautiful report from school, not only that, you obligate to say to him, well done, yesher koach, beautiful for your hard work, buy him a present. Why? That present, you can actually encourage them to carry on doing a good work. And that's what Pinhas done. He said, from what Pinhas done to the soldier by giving them the spoil is to teach us that if a child done good and is studying, you should give him that, what do you call it? That feedback, a good feedback, a good benefit. He said, but that's not only that's for the children. In your work, your workers, especially the wife at home, when the wife work hard, when she done a special thing for you, a special meal, we should appreciate everything. That means that we should know that gratitude is one of the important things. That means if a person wants to have good things, it's something important. What does it mean? It means that the person should give them a good feedback. That means a husband should tell his wife how good she is, how well she done. Okay? Beautiful, yesher koach, to the children, to the grandchildren, to the workers, to whoever is it, to his student, the rabbi. That's the idea. That means to encourage people to do more, you have to give them a good feedback, to give them a good word, to bribe them, basically. And that's what Elazar HaKohen done to the soldier. And that's what it says, haba'im lamilhama. Okay, now, Louis, we're going to move to Parashat Masei. We're jumping to Parashat Masei because until now we did Parashat Mattot. Now we're going to go to Parashat Masei. And Parashat Masei starts in chapter 33, verse 1, to those of you, I don't know if you have, those of you that have the Chumash. And it says like this, Ele Masei bnei Israel asher yatz'u me'eretz Mitzrayim. Okay? Sorry, I need to turn the page. לצבאותם ביד משה ואהרון. בכבוד, לואי.
They are the journeys of the children of Israel who went forth from the land of Egypt accordingly to their legions and under the hand of Moses and Aaron. Okay,
here we see something very extraordinary, that the Torah repeat and tell us all the 42 journeys that Bnei Israel have to do during the 40 years. And the Rambam, the great eagle, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimonides, he born in the city of Cordova 886 years ago in Spain. And he asked a very, very valid question. He said, why is the Torah, our holy Torah, have to repeat and tell us now again all the 42 journeys that Bnei Israel have in the wilderness? That's the question. Why is it so important? So you all know the Rambam wrote the book called Moreh Nevuchim, the guide of the perplex, the guide for the perplex. About this book, just very, very shortly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time because the time is short. At the beginning, our sages couldn't understand the depths of that book. And they actually said that people should not read it. And a matter of fact, people should burn this book. Only later on, when Hazal sit, the Rabbonim sit on it in depth and understand how deep that book, they allowed back. Because it's a very deep book. Because there, the Rambam showed how great he was. In every book that he wrote, he showed how great he is. But here he showed that there's a lot of philosophy. In volume 3, in chapter 50, the Rambam speak about that question that we ask. And he said that the main reason that our Kadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu to write in our Holy Torah, the 42 journeys that Bnei Israel, what it means, the 42 journeys, during the 40 years in the wilderness, Bnei Israel been in a certain place for a certain time. Every journey, it's mean a place. If we don't have enough time, maybe next year, Be'ezrat Hashem, I'll go to certain name and we explain the depths and that there is behind every name. For example, Refidim, we explain Sinai, what it means Sinai, that means Barzin, what is sin mean, the word sin, what's hiding in behind it. So said the Rambam that something extraordinary. He said that those people that was in the wilderness, those people that experienced this kind of 40 years in the wilderness, those that was young, they will never remember the effect that it's had on them. Why? Because what's happened there? Because the miracle that they have with the well of Miriam, that they can drink water in the wilderness, the manna that they received from heaven, the cloud of glory, all the splitting of the sea, and etc. He said that that kind of impression make great impression on those that live, that those that saw it. But said the Rambam, that will be a generation that will slowly people forget it. And they will reach a generation that might gonna debate that even if those miracles ever happened to the Jewish people. They're gonna come and say, you know how the Jewish people survive in the wilderness 40 years? Number one, they find water because there was next to Oses. Oses is a Neve Midbar, they call it Oses, it's called, or next to a settlement in the wilderness that there is people, and that's how they managed to survive for 40 years. Said the Rambam, the Torah come and tell us all the journeys, because in every journey, the Jewish people have something to complain. And every journey, HaKadosh Baruch Hu make miracle to that nation. In every journey, HaKadosh Baruch Hu show how much compassion and mercy and he had on him. And he said that, as a matter of fact, the great desert that they have to go through, it was full of snake and scorpion. No water, no food. Where will you find food in the wilderness? Where will you find water? Nothing. He said that the main reason that the Torah tells us those 42 journeys, it's to come and tell us exactly that, because the Torah knew that in the future will be those people that try to debate or to object that idea. The Torah come and tell us that that's exactly what's happened to the Jewish people. And it was all by miracle that HaKadosh Baruch Hu done to them. And that's the main reason that the Torah mentioning the 42 journeys of Bnei Israel in the wilderness. But if we're speaking already about the 42 journeys of Bnei Israel in the wilderness, I want to tell you a remedy that the Mekubalim, the mystical rabbis say, that this coming Shabbos, Rabotai, okay, you must read from, it say in chapter 33, okay, from chapter 33, verse 5, remember that, okay, all of those journey, okay, that it say, not to stop between them. Why? Because there is here until I think verse 38, okay? Include verse 38. It says like this. The Kabbalistic rabbis say, if you read all of those verses in chapter 33 from verse 5 to verse 37 include, without stopping, it's a remedy for great protection. And who doesn't need protection? We have all different sorrows in the world today. We have this virus that we need great protection from it. So this coming Shabbos, all of you, obviously, none of you are going to go to shul. You're going to be at home. When you read the Parsha, Rabotai, do not stop on that. Read it. You don't have to read it one shot, like a train. Read it slowly, but don't stop in the middle. It's a remedy for protection. And I said that I have to share it with you. Okay, by the way, we read the same, those 42 journeys in Erev Pesach. It's for protection. Yonatan ben Oziel was a sage that lived tens of years just before the destruction of the second temple, and he was the student of Hillel. And he explained like this, that every name, okay, that it's mentioned there, Yotvata, Hagodgod, you know, Etzion Gaver, all of those that we mentioned, all of those places that they have to stop and rest, okay, there's a secret behind it. Every name. Not only that there is secret, there's a great thing behind it. Be'ezrat Hashem, please God, Bli Neder, next year, Be'ezrat Hashem, Bli Neder, I will try to put few names, maybe 4 or 5 of the journey, and just to explain some of it, because if we do 42, it's going to take us 3-4 hours, if not 5 hours, to explain every name. So, Be'ezrat Hashem will explain what's hiding behind those 42 journeys. Now, let's continue. Louis, I'm moving to verse 51 and 52, chapter 33, verse 51 and 52. דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, כי אתם עוברים את הירדן אל ארץ כנען, והורשתם את כל יושבי הארץ מפניכם, ואיבדתם את משכיותם, ואת כל צלמי מסכותם תאבדו, ואת כל במותם תשמידו.
You said verse 51 and 52.
Chapter 33, verse 51, 2.
Right. 51 starts here. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you cross Jordan to the land of Canaan,
no problem.
You shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you, and you shall destroy all the postation stones, all the molten images, and you will destroy, and all their high places shall you demolish.
Louis, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Did you hear me? Rolf,
Louis?
did you hear?
I don't know what's happening to the Zoom.
Louis,
can you hear me?
Phone. Yes, I can hear you, Rolf. Can you hear me? Let's try now. Rov, I've tried to clear it again. Can you hear me, Rov? Hello? Rov? Can you hear me?
Don't know, for some reason I lost you. Louis, can you hear me? Hello, everyone can hear me? Mark, can you hear me? Mark, I don't know if you can hear me.
Rolf.
You muted. Tell me if you can hear me.
I can hear
I
you.
can hear
Rolf.
you.
Yeah, we
Can
can
you
hear
hear me,
Rob.
Mark?
Yep.
Yep.
But now we can't hear Louis.
Guys, is anyone can hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear
Rob,
you.
but
This is
we
Ava.
don't hear Louis.
It's Anthony. It's Anthony. I can
Hello?
hear you.
Louis is a mute.
Can you?
Your picture stalled. You've stalled, Rob.
For some, Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, maybe we should reboot.
Guys, I think I have a problem with my internet. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can hear me, but I
We
can't
hear you, but
you
you
and you
stalled. Your
obviously
picture
can't hear me.
stalled.
So I really apologize. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Sorry?
Yes, can hear you.
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Yes. No. Better love sharing, man. Yeah.
Rolf, can you hear me now? Marky, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Louis, but I think when you're talking, the Rolf can't hear you, and vice versa.
Oh, that's what's happening. He can't hear us.
Yeah. When we talk, he can hear us, but we can't hear him, and vice versa.
Aye,
So
right.
something's gone haywire.
Yeah, something's gone haywire.
It's probably your fault, Louis.
Yeah, it's always my fault, I know.
Of course.
What you think? I must take the blame. What do you want? I'll take the blame. I've got big shoulders.
Okay.
Right.
You can hear me now. Am I
the
right?
Rolf's back.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm back. I have a problem on my connection. Thank you for staying. Okay. So
Okay.
we
That's not allowed to remember. Because
You want me
verse
to?
51, 52. Let's just finish. Sorry about it. We're going to join it. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Please mute yourself. I'm going to mute everyone because we taking too much time. So those of you that not muted, I'm going to mute everyone. Louis, you unmute yourself. Okay. Okay. So what's happening in verse 51, 52? Here we see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu command Moshe Rabbeinu to tell the children of Israel when they're passing the Jordan Valley and they're entering the land of Eretz Israel.
The sound is not
They
so
are
loud.
Sorry? The children of Israel obligated to destroy any idols that the Gentile that live in Eretz Israel, they must destroy it. I saw a commentary that brought by Rabbi Aryeh Lev Tzintz. Rabbi Aryeh Lev Tzintz also know Rabbi Aryeh Lev Harif. He born in in Poland. He born in Poland around 253 years ago. In his book Meloa Omer, he explained that Hazal is saying that Moshe, if he would enter Eretz Israel, he have the ability and the strength to cancel the evil inclination to worship idols. He said, but because he didn't enter Eretz Israel, he couldn't cancel the evil inclination to worship idols. So the Torah come and tell us, because now that you're crossing the Jordan Valley and you're entering the land of Eretz Israel, and Moshe Rabbeinu not entering with you, you're not going to have the energy, okay, to destroy that kind of evil inclination. Moshe doesn't have it. You have to fight it. So what do you have to do? The first thing, as you enter the Eretz Israel, you're obligated to destroy, to burn any idols that the Gentile worship. That means any avodah zarah and the statues, any kind of avodah zarah that the Gentile in Eretz Israel, that settle in Eretz Israel, you must destroy it, you must burn it. Why? Because you don't have the strength to cancel it. And we know that one of the things that the first temple been destroyed, the reason for it, beside the three averot that Yarek Val Yavor, one of them was Avodah Zarah. Avodah Zarah, Gilui Arayot, and murder. That means either worshipping, immorality, and murder. That's what Bet HaMikdash Arishon been destroyed. So one of them, it was Avodah Zarah, and that's what the Torah tells. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell Moshe Rabbeinu to tell Bnei Israel, when you enter into the land of Israel, you want to survive on the land, there's one condition: destroy any idols. Okay, with your permission, I'm skipping now to verse 35, chapter 35, Louis, chapter 35, verse 35-2.
35-2.
Yeah, 35-2. עכשיו את בני ישראל ונתנו ללוויים מנחלת אחוזתם ערים לשבת ומגרש לערים סביבותיהם תיתנו ללוויים.
Command the children of Israel that they shall give to the Levites from the heritage of their possessions, the cities for dwelling, and the open spaces of the cities all around them shall be given to the Levites.
Okay, here we see the Torah tell us that the tribes obligate to give to the tribe of the Levy. Okay, city in the, when I say city, you must understand it's not city what we know. It's like suburbs, like areas, okay? That in the dwelling, that means when the 12 tribes going to inherit the land of Eretz Israel, they obligate to give the tribe of the Levy 48 areas. Okay, and come the Rabbi Moshe Hagiz. Rabbi Moshe Hagiz is born in Jerusalem 349 years ago, and in his book Masei, it's a beautiful book that speak about his journeys in Israel, in the law of Eretz Israel, and he speak about the Parashat. And he asked, how come that the Levite, the tribe of the Levite, didn't get any heritage in the land of Eretz Israel? How come? Why Dafka the Levite? So he explained that like this. He said that the tribe of Levy wasn't part of the rest of, wasn't like the rest of the Jewish people that have to go to slavery in Egypt. Who gone to slavery in Egypt? Only those 11 tribes. But the tribe of Levy wasn't part of the hard laborship. That means the tribe of Levy never was in hard laborship in Egypt. So he said in that merit, therefore, listen to that, therefore, because they wasn't part of the rest of the nation that was in slavery, they're not entitled. Only those that was in slavery, they entitled to the portion of the land of Eretz Israel. Other explanation is because the tribe of Levy is a tribe that work in Bet HaMikdash. The Bet HaMikdash is a place of peace in Eretz Israel, and in Eretz Israel, in the land of Eretz Israel, the Bet HaMikdash is, and Bet HaMikdash is to bring peace to the entire world. So how can be those that serving in a house that bring peace to the world in Eretz Israel, okay, will inherit land or will inherit portion in that was belong to other people and to enjoy other people's misery? It can't be. That's why they didn't get. But I saw another beautiful commentary to link it now to the 3 weeks. I saw the commentary of Rav Ben Zion Mutzafi Shalita, and he said like this: we know that Parashat Masei always fall in a 3 weeks, Ben HaMetzarim. And we can connect it to what's happening to that verse that we read. And he said that we say that only the people that was in slavery in Egypt was entitled to get a heritage in the land of Eretz Israel. He said for the future to come, Hazal tell us that only those that mourn and show grief that the Bet HaMikdash not exists, that didn't eat meat, all the custom that we have during those 3 weeks in the Ben HaMetzarim, only those people that mourn and cry for the destruction of Bet HaMikdash, only those people will see in a comfort when HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring down the Bet HaMikdash. That means those that mourn will have a reason in the end when HaKadosh Baruch Hu send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day to see and to merit, to rejoice and to be happy with the building of Bet HaMikdash. And Be'ezrat Hashem, I will bless all of you and all Am Israel, all of us, that we should all merit to see Mashiach Tzidkenu coming and giving us obviously the message, and the third Bet HaMikdash coming up from heaven, and we should all will merit to rejoice and to see it speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon. Now I'm going to give time for question. If anyone want to have question, please unmute yourself and ask question. I really apologize for what's happened for the few minutes with the internet. I didn't have any control over it. You can ask question. Bechavod, if I can answer, I will.
Steven Kabatsnik.
Shalom Aleichem. Steven, who are you?
Aleichem Shalom Rav. Well, yourself. You say that the Levium didn't have a portion, but yet they were given effectively cities in the tribes which were effectively theirs. They couldn't be sold. It remained in like their possession. They still had some sort of possession in the land.
Yeah, no. I said that they didn't have inherit the land to you. These are different. They have a suburb, a city. It's not a city what we know. It's like a suburb, like an area. Okay. For example, if you take Johannesburg, there is a suburb that called Glen Hazel. There is a suburb that called Sydenham, a suburb that called Highlands North, and they go to certain area, okay, and they have a little suburb that they can live there. It wasn't belong to them. Amongst those 48 suburbs that they got, they have from them, 6 of them was a refuge city. Let's remember, 3 refuge city was in Eretz Israel, and another 3 was beyond
the Jordan.
Yeah, and that was in a heritage of Shevet Reuven and Shevet Gad. Remember, so in Gansen, nothing was belong to them. It's like you renting a flat from Chaim Yankov. It's just that you don't pay. That's the difference. But it's not belong to you. There's a difference. You don't have a heritage on the land. You don't owe a land like the other tribe have. You follow, Stephen?
Yeah, I follow.
Okay. Any other question, Rabotai?
So I believe there are loads of vowels in that. So what makes vowels? You also say like blined in it. Like the Mattot talks about vowels in it, and the Dorim in it.
Yes.
You always say like blined when one does the vow. I'm going to do this. So I'm going to abstain from.
When a person said, "Listen, I'll meet you at 4 o'clock," if he doesn't say "bli neder," it's a vow. He put himself a vow. Okay, I'll get for you that you know, a friend phone his friend and he said, listen, make me a favor, get for me, I don't know, get for me a cup of coffee, bring me a cup of coffee. I can't leave home, you know, I don't want to take chance. And you say, I'll get it for you. And you didn't say bli neder, it's a vow. Everything that we say, every word that we're saying out of our mouths, we must say bli neder. Be'ezrat Hashem. Be'ezrat Hashem, bli neder. With the help of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, bli neder. Shkoach, Steve.
Just when you write it, he said BH to the base. Hey. Okay.
Sorry. I'll leave you for 1 second. What you say, Stephen?
The base, hey, can you do a letter? Visit the Shem, and you write like a letter. We used to write letters. Yeah.
Bet say Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
Okay.
That's what Pei Hey. Bet Ein Hey Be'ezrat Hashem. With the help of the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And Bli Neder, okay? That's Bli Neder. I'm not promising. I'm not taking an oath. I'm not taking a vow on myself. If I manage to do it, I'll do it. If I'm not, I'm not. That's what it means, Bli Neder. You follow?
Yeah.
Okay. Shukua.
Rabbi, another question. Why, when it talks about oath, and why does it specifically say concerning women? There's no, it talks about a woman taking oath, etc. It's emphasis on the woman rather than men taking oath.
Why? Because a woman cannot do atarat nedarim, cannot do anointment of the vow. She cannot annul the vow. Who can do the annul of the vow? Only a male.
Mm-hmm.
You follow?
I hear you.
You understand? So a male, so the Torah come and tell us, if you hear your young daughter or your wife taking an oath, immediately do an annul of the vow, that it wouldn't be. Your wife say, I'll get it for you, say bli neder. Do you understand?
But why can't a woman annul her vow?
She can, but she have to do it in the front of shlosha. Or, what it means shlosha, 3 male, or a rabbi that is a mumhe. That's what we do also, if you remember, on Erev Rosh Hashanah and Erev Yom Kippur. We do atarat nedarim and atarat klalot.
Yeah.
You remember?
I hear that, but I'm just saying, why is a woman? Why can't she do her own?
Because she can't be part of the Beit Din. She can't be part of the Beit Din.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, right. Got it.
Because the Beit Din, those 3, that's the Beit Din. You ask them to do anoint. You follow?
I hear you.
Any other question, Rabotai? If you have any other question regarding the show, I would like to try and answer if I can. If not, Rabotai, I would like to wish you all Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Rosh Chodesh Tov, this Shabbos is Rosh Chodesh Av. May please God will never celebrate Tisha B'Av. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us, please God, soon. What it mean, Av? Av lekol hamoadim, that will be Av lekol hamoadim, the father to all the festivals. That please God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will turn this festival, this month, to complete months of festival. But if not, there's
so Rabbi Levy, the 9 days. What you asking now? What's the law? So Rabbi Levy, the 9 days. What can't do, like laundering, like cutting nails?
Okay, so there is a different law here. There is Shavua Shehalbo, the 3 weeks. Shavua Shehalbo we don't have. That means that the week that Tisha B'Av fall. So if you look next week, from after Rosh Chodesh, we can't eat meat. No meat. Regarding haircut, no haircut. Okay, there is some people saying not to have a hot shower. Okay, I know that Rav Eliyash Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha, when he was alive, I remember that 20 years ago. No, 21 years ago. It was at Mizrahi Shul when it was just been built. Few years after it been built, the rabbi came from Israel, and he said to me, "Here is in Israel, in Eretz Yisrael, we don't have warm shower, we have only cold shower. I said to him, yes, you're right, because in Eretz Israel now, in the northern hemisphere, is summer. Here it's winter. And if I'm not mistaken, Rav Eliashiv given a psak halacha that we can have a warm shower, not very hot, okay, but because it's winter. I remember saying it to him, and he ever argued with me. And after 3-4 days, he was here for, I think, for a month or something. He phoned his family in Israel to check what I say. And Baruch Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't say any mistake, helped me not to make a mistake. So even Rabbi Eliashiv allowed that to have a warm shower. Today, בכלל אין שאלה. Today, it's life in danger, what we're having today. To walk on the street, it's a danger, Stevie, you understand?
Sure.
So we have to take every measure of careful to do. Definitely not to walk after a shower outside. The Rambam said that the person can get sick if you go out with a wet head. It's a wind, he speak about it. The Rambam, that was a great doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. And there is all different things that you're not allowed to buy new thing, obviously not to say Birkat Shehianu, and etc. Okay. So all of this law we know. You follow?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Any other question, Rabotai?
Thank you.
And we're going to be, Azrat Hashem, this coming Sunday, we'll speak about Bli Neder. Bli Neder will speak about what it is Tisha B'Av. And I try to go also through the law this coming Sunday a little bit in briefly about all the strictness that there is regarding the law of the 9 days that we're having. And in Gansen, it's not even 9 days, Rabotai, because Sunday is Tisha B'Av. What's left? What's left? Sunday. The next Shabbos, we can eat meat. Friday, Saturday, we can eat meat. Lehalacha.
6 days.
Okay. So there's only 5 days because Tisha B'Av is a day of fast, so we're not counting it. So there's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 5 days not to eat meat. It's not the end of the world. So you'll eat fish. You'll eat what do you call it? Vegetables. It's not vegetarian. It's not the end of the world. Really, it's not the end. But Be'ezrat Hashem will speak about it. In the meantime, I'm not going to steal any more time of you because it's an hour and a half now that I'm talking and my throat completely dry. Bring something. Would like to wish all of you Shabbat Shalom. Keep yourself safe. Look after yourself. And please, God, remember that when you read the journey, it's a remedy. It's a remedy for great protection, not to stop in the middle. I'm taking the opportunity to wish you all Shabbat Shalom Umvorechet to all of you. Please, God, we'll see you all this coming Sunday. All the best.
Rav, thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov.
To all of you. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon. All of you. All the best.
Even
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos. Shabbos.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.